up Barleycorns? First, I want to address something. Eric was talking about getting your weed card in Oklahoma and they ask you to point at the skeleton where it hurts. Let me clarify this. They bring out the skeleton and just say, hey, do you have one of these? It's that easy. I got my card at a gas station. Now, I'll be your only comic in a vest this evening. That's weird. I just bought this vest. I got it because I always wanted one as a kid, growing up as a punk rocker. And what I learned is that you have to be really careful when you buy a vest. Because if you buy the wrong kind, you will just look like Ernest Saves Punk Rock. I've loved punk since I was really young. It's like 6 years old listening to Fugazi, which means my parents were not around. But punk to me is an interesting thing because all the punk rockers look super tough. Like, yeah, my name is Piss Jug and I love oxycodone, but also arts and crafts. I'm gonna shoot some heroin and use my grandmother's sewing machine. I like to get this out right at the beginning of my set. I'm a trans person. I'm trans. Alright, I like that you're on board. No, I don't think I have to tell you anything else about it, right? I don't have to tell you what's in my pants. At least I don't think you need to know. You might feel differently. Look, I've been wrong before. If you think you need to know what's in my pants, I guess come up to me after the show and make a case. It's gonna be weird for both of us. I would prefer it to stay a mystery that just takes up real estate in your mind for the rest of your life. Like you're driving home after the show going, what do you think it was? What if it was both? Because some comedy is just for me. Now look, when I say I'm trans, I live in Oklahoma. I get it. People go, oh no, a trans. I live not in the buckle of the Bible Belt. I live in the extra holes they have to punch. Because all we eat is corn. But people get weird about it. I'm here to tell you it's actually an asset if we're friends. Because I can turn any party into a gender reveal party. If I take my pants off. No, when I talk about being trans, people go, oh no, the show just got woke. Well, don't worry, because I'm also kinda old. I want to be woke. I do. I want to be more inclusive, more accepting, but I'm not sure why I'm supposed to be mad all the time. So I asked the young folks, I want to follow their lead, the young folks in the queer community, what are you doing? And I did something for the first time in my life, in nearly 40 years. I bought my first pride flag.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right? I said, I'm proud I can have that. I put it up outside my apartment. It lasted 2 weeks before somebody ripped it down. Now look, I am proud, but I'm also very petty. So I replaced it with 4 more pride flags. You can see how gay I am from space. I put one right by my front door. I don't know why, like I'm gonna salute it on my way to work. That was dumb. That was a mistake because it rained and the flag got wet. Now I have to dodge it every time I leave. You don't want it slapping you in the face. Feels like you're getting licked by Clifford the Big Gay Dog. Thank you. I always love it when it gets personal. You're very funny. You can just laugh. Now, I love this thing. thing that people do since I came out, they ask me this one very silly question. They say, how do you handle the bathroom situation? What's your take on the bathroom debate? I get that a lot. I don't have one. It's never come up. I'll tell you the truth. I use whichever bathroom stinks less. It's never been an issue. I've never had anybody like stand in my way or confront me because this face you see is a will pee on your feet face. I get a lot of guff for being trans. I get called mean names on social media sometimes. Like I got called a groomer once. I don't get that because my cosmetology license got taken away years ago. I know what happened. I know that they're conflating a trans person with a drag queen, but that's dumb because there are some important differences. For starters, I'm autistic. You'll never catch me in a library reading to children when there are books about trains I could be reading to myself. The most important difference between a drag queen and a trans person such as myself is that a drag queen can actually, trick your husband. I don't get the kid thing, I really don't. Like, I don't want anything to do with your kids. I just keep them away. Like, I like being in bars. Kids aren't allowed. That's great. That's because, again, I'm autistic and kids are, notoriously sticky. I like talking about being autistic now. I do. I didn't always, though, because I'm very private. I'm a very private person. I don't actually like people knowing a lot of stuff about me. Makes it hard to do comedy. My friends, they were all always the same thing. They say, you should joke about your autism. Your autism is particularly hilarious. That's probably an insult. The cool thing about the nature of autism, right? I didn't notice. No, but I'm private about it, and I finally gave in. I started talking about it. Nobody cared. It wasn't a big deal. I could talk about it freely, and people would still treat me like a human being. And I thought about it. For 38 years of my life, nobody gave a shit that I was autistic, except my parents, who kept telling the doctor that their kids sucked. Other than that, nobody cared. Until this year. Because we all saw it. We saw RFK Jr. talking about he wants to make a database. He wants to round up all the autistic people. Now, first of all, you gravel voice fail, son. Who's gonna program the database if you round us all up? But I didn't want the government to know that I'm autistic. I don't want them to come to my front door and take my Legos away. So I did something about it. I called my doctor and I said, take it out of my medical records. And they did. You don't question what an autistic person wants, that's how you get hit. But they did it. I'm cured. I am cured. Officially, on paper. I think it's a fool's errand. I think the government can still find me. All they have to do is come to my door and say, hey, we've got a train. And I'll get on it because I have questions about the train. Is this diesel or electric? Or are you running steam in 2025, you jokers? I know a lot about trains. I do. I like throwing rocks at them. I'm that kind of autistic. Again with the personal stuff. We'll talk afterwards. Just get some rocks. We'll meet at the tracks. No, I've got this new special interest I do. Recently, I've been watching YouTube videos of life hacks. You guys ever watch these? They used to be really cool. They used to be useful, like how to meal plan or how to save a few bucks, but now they're all insane. Like, kick this chair in half and staple it back together, and now you have an uncomfortable chair. Life hack. Or worse, there's something that's not really a life hack, like just order a big dinner with a side salad and then put the salad in your fridge and tomorrow you have a lunch salad. Life hack. No, that's not a life hack, you just discovered cold storage. Makes me want to make my own life hack videos where I just trick children. Like it's a video of me pouring ranch dressing on a cat and then a jump cut and it's a dog. Like, your parents said you couldn't have a dog. Well, here's what you need. Cat traps and ranch dressing. That's not gonna make me any money. Now, since I came out as trans, I don't have a great relationship with my parents, that's true. I didn't have a great one before, it was because of the alcoholism, but I don't now, and I'm trying to fix it, so I invited my mom to a show, and I said, come watch me do comedy. It's fun, you like to laugh. You like that 2.5 Men? And she said, that took you a second. And I said, it's not a funny show, that's the joke. No, she said no. She said, I don't want to watch you tell jokes about me. I don't want to hear you talk about me in your little routine. That's an awful thing to say to your kid. It's belittling, it's demeaning, but most of all, it's confusing. Because I haven't had a routine in like 30 years since I quit gymnastics. And the only thing I took from that was how to do the tuck. And now you know what my parts are. I do have a kid. There's some parents in the crowd. You don't have to cheer. I know that you really feel down about it. When I ask, I want an honest answer. You know, who has a kid? Somebody goes like, meh. That's real. No, I love my kid. I do. She's 11, and nothing she likes holds up to scrutiny. That's what I've learned. She came to me the other day, and she said, I want to build a fort. And at first I was on board. I was like, hell yeah, let's build a fort. And I thought about it for 1 minute, and I went, wait a second, you're already in one. And she said, I want to build the biggest fort I possibly can. And I said, you're not listening. By default, it's going to be smaller than the one I've already built for you. She persisted. She wanted this fort. So I sat down to watch TV while the monument to her bullshit went up around me. I lasted about 30 minutes before I was like, can you just go back to watching TikTok, please? Stop taping sheets to my furniture. I'm still paying it off. I try to impress her a lot. I do, because I think she's super cool. But I realize I am trying to impress an 11-year-old, and it's not working, because I am never gonna be cool. I went to her the other day, I said, you know, I am a stand-up comic that's basically a rock star. And she said, nope. You're basically a magician. Ouch. I started crying. I had to leave the room. I was like, you're not supposed to see me cry until, I don't know, your mom dies. I got it together. I dried my tears. I went back into the room she was in. I said, pick a card, any card. She said, what's this? And I said, adoption paperwork. I'm gonna make you disappear. I've been asking my friends interesting questions to try to connect with them. Recently, it's been, what superpower would you have if you could have any superpower? And what I've learned is that my friends are boring and unimaginative. Because they all have the same boring answers. They say like, I would be able to fly, or I would have X-ray vision, because they're perverts. I have the most unique answer. I've never heard this from anyone else. If I could have any superpower, I would be able to throw a fart like a ventriloquist throws their voice. I think it'd be the dopest thing ever to be able to rip ass and then a guy across the room thinks they did it. I know that I'm not saving the city from kaiju with that superpower, but I am making Godzilla think that he just cut a nuclear air biscuit. And that's good enough for me. But I also know that that's not realistic, that people don't have superpowers. I learned that a couple of years ago. That was funnier to me, all right. No, but I found the realistic version of it. And I've been practicing. Driver has, so they can stay cool while the kids cook to death behind them. And I've been shooting them into my dog's face. Because again, some jokes are just for me, and nothing is funnier than my dog waking up from a dead sleep and going, what the hell is that? I think we should do this kind of thing to our pets, just to show dominance. I think we need to remind them who's on top, because we let them get away with too much. Like, my dog gets away with way too much. Why does she have this unending desire to show me her butthole? I know she's as smart as a 2-year-old, but if I had a 2-year-old who was constantly like, hey, check this out, I would take them to the doctor and have them put down. Cats are even worse about it. I think they do it on purpose. I think while you're asleep, your cat is in another room going, I know how I'm gonna wake him up. Claws in the chest, Cheerio in the face. I do have a temper. I've had a temper since I was a little kid. I am known to fly off the handle, and I've been trying to get on top of it. I want to be calmer. I want to be a more rational person, and it's been working. I've been working through it, and I do absolutely still lose my temper on occasion, and it's always over something stupid. Like recently, I was hungry, so I called a pizza place, and I said, let me get a small pepperoni, and the guy on the phone said, nope. And I said, what do you mean no? And he said, we don't have small, we only have medium, large, and extra large. And I said, no, you can't do that. He said, what do you mean? I said, you can't have medium without small. It comes from the Latin word media. It means middle, in between. And the guy said, I make minimum wage. And that's fair because I shouldn't be talking about dead languages with a pizza guy. But I was hungry and I said, man, just tell me it's a small. Write small on the box so I don't feel fat while I eat this alone in my car. And he said, no can-do company policy. And I went, this used to be a proper country. And I would rather go hungry than honor your false pizza scale. I'm banned from Domino's. It's always something stupid that gets my temper up. Like, and it's mostly stupid shit that I do to myself. Like once a month for the last 40 years, I'll look at a piece of skin hanging off my thumb and go, I can trim that with my teeth. It hasn't worked once. I know there's a decent chance I'm gonna pull it down to my elbow. Even dumber than that, I wanted to know what's the opposite of assless chaps, so I Googled it. You know, chaps where it's the front, not the back. What would it be called if it was the whole thing? Pants! They're called pants! I forgot the word for pants! I do love this crazy thing that most people hate, and I get it. But you guys are cool. I'll tell you about it. You're not gonna like it though. I love Golden Corral. There are a couple of pieces of trash in the audience with me. All right, let's go after the show. I don't love Golden Corral because of the food. Like, let's be honest, it's not good. Golden Corral's slogan should be, the food isn't good, but there's a lot of it. I love Golden Corral because it's a lawless wasteland where you can do whatever you want and nobody can judge you. I saw a lady there order mellow yellow mixed with root beer. And the server didn't blink. He's seen worse. That place is a daycare for monsters. The only place in the world you can see a 4-year-old get a plate of cotton candy and run it under a chocolate fountain. Mom, why did it melt? She said, because you didn't put the layered chicken strips on there, idiot. I did something new the last time I went to Golden Corral. I asked an employee, what's the most popular item on your buffet? And she said, carrot cake. I love carrot cake. I do. I'm a sucker for carrot cake. And they're proud of it. They're so proud, they put the recipe up on the wall. It's huge. It's the size of a movie poster. And you'll never guess the first ingredient of Golden Corral's world famous carrot cake is carrot cake mix. There isn't a single goddamn vegetable in it. And what does it matter? You're just gonna put gravy on it anyway. I spent a long time trying to explain to my friends why I loved Golden Corral so much, and I wanted to do it in a way that didn't make me sound like an elitist, where I was being condescending to the people at Golden Corral. I think this was like an elitist, and that is because I am better than those people. I have another new special interest. This has been a year for that, broadening my horizons. And again, since you guys have been cool, I'll tell you about it, but you have to stay cool because this special interest is a crime. But for the past 10 months, I have been trying to release the mopping robot at the grocery store. I saw it and I said, I hate that and I want it outside. Don't have a reason, but more importantly, I don't have an end goal for if I succeed in releasing this thing from the store. I don't know what's gonna happen. Are we gonna travel the world together solving crimes? Am I gonna convince it that we're best friends while secretly hoping it gets hit by a car? Because I am autistic and that's regular friendship for me. All right, I got a couple for you that I don't normally do, but I'll do them for you. I really love looking up, researching the first people to ever do a thing. Now, that can be anything. That can be like the first guy to jump a canyon on a motorcycle, or it could be the first, computer program. I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass to make the joke work, okay? But look, I recently got fascinated by the first person to ever eat oysters. Because that guy must have been a real weirdo. Because somebody really said, hey, this rock is full of cum. Susan, fetch my hot sauce. It's gonna make me fuck good for some reason. Alright. And this one, just to wrap it up, I'll tell you about this guy. He's my favorite guy in the world. I told you, fine folks in Wichita, I told him that I would tell you about him because he's my favorite person in the world. His name is Maury.